everybody, welcome to another episode of Widgets and Wonders. This is my weekly show about great products from small companies. Now this week we're going to take a look at a little company called 3DWarGaming, made by a fellow Canadian, Jilin Yang, out in Montreal, that does 3D printed miniatures and games. Now he decided that one of the most interesting things about 3D printers, of course, is your ability to create anything. But in his mind, there's a bit of a sort of a, I guess, a false illusion that it caught, really high quality printer that could cost a whole bunch of money to make a quality product. And in his mind, it was all about the designs and how you design printing something that would lead to you having a high quality model or not. So what he's done is combine his love of miniature wargaming with his love of creating designs and computer technology and 3D printing to create a line of 3D models on his website that you can download for about the quarter of the price of taking a miniature or buying a miniature, and then print as many as you want at home on a sort of medium gauge home 3D printer. So all the designs are available on his website, and he sent me some designs to show you guys. Now there's some that are in pieces still, so you can see the components as they go together, and some that are already assembled, and I'm gonna paint them, and he's actually doing a game, which is sort of a World of Tanks style tank combat game. He started with tanks because he has a love of armor kits, and also because it was sort of an easy jump off point in both game design and in 3D modeling to make these models. So there's some really cool stuff here. There's two historical ones, three sci-fi pieces, and one of these pieces, actually the walker, is available as a free download. So if you just want to check out the designs he makes, you can go to his website and download this one. It's got none of the surface detail on it, so it's more of a blank version. It doesn't have like the etching, sort of like this sort of scrimshaw in it, but it's a free model. You can just download and check it and print for yourself. So we'll show you the models right now, and you can see what you think. These are from 3DWarGaming. We got some armor kits and some sci-fi kits. So here's the 5 different kits that we were sent. We've got left to right the 2 sort of like historical kits. We have a Tiger 1 in pieces here and a T-34. So these are both World War II kits. And they're all to scale, so you can see the Tiger 1 is enormous, as that tank was. And it's in pieces. I've kind of like just dry fit some of them, so you guys can check it out. But it's all printed in components that then slot together. So you can see here the 88 is actually a separate piece from the 2-part turret, which goes together. And I have to say, I'm gonna hold this up to the camera a little bit, the actual quality of printing, it's gonna take a second to focus, is really smooth. You can see here, this is the printed side, so you get the sort of like the cross hatching and stuff here on the printed side, but the actual printed edges are super duper smooth. And I don't know how much finishing went into putting like them together, like if they were washed with acetone or something afterwards, but for the most part, it's really, really clean. And there's lots of small details too. So the main body here was printed in one big chunk, and then the turret's in 2 pieces. The gun, there's actually 2 guns here. There's one that's not assembled yet. Is actually articulated, so it's on a roller if you want to actually just keep it off and dry fit it. And then you've got the flywheels printed as a single piece, and I imagine they were printed bottom up like this to get these nice round shapes. They were printed in this general direction, and then there's the flywheels, which is on the back here. And these, I think, look like they're the perfect 28mm scale to go with any of my 28mm like World War II kits, so like my War Games Foundry, or my whatchamacallit, my Warlord Games World War II guys. And then there's a T-34 here, which again is in several pieces. So you can see here the turret, which I just dry fit in, has a, oops, this is actually on a ball joint too, so it can actually move up and down. It's slightly articulated. And then there's flywheels and treads, and they look like they're printed much the same way. And then exterior pieces too. So like there's actually like the engine block, and the back has some stowage as well. So there's like stowage boxes, and all kinds of neat little details. There's even like tow hooks for the Tiger 1E, tiny little tow hooks that you can put on as well. So with these 2, I purposely didn't put them together to show you guys. I'm actually gonna have Mike from Epic Studios paint one of them. I wanna paint the 1E. I'm gonna give him the T-34. And Mike's gonna paint this as well back here, which is one of the sci-fi kits. And if we can, we're gonna get together and try out the little tank game that she's made. So these are 2 of the World War II kits. And then over here, we got some sci-fi kits on the right-hand side and in the back. And those are, he gave them all names, so they're not like generic models. They are the Lux Sentinel in the back here. Now this thing is super cool because it's actually all ball fitted and everything's articulated. Like it actually all moves. So the way he's designed it, it'll stand up on its own, and you can face however you want. And even the eyeball on the inside, it's all just dry fitted together. But when this is painted in pieces, it'll be 100% articulated when it's done. And it's kind of Necron-y, kind of War of the Worlds-y, this like crazy eye lasery robot. It reminds me a little bit of the big monster robot from The Incredibles. And this looks like it's a separate eye. So this is one of the eye pieces that go on the inside. And I'm not entirely sure what these are for, these separate little bits right here, but it's more little eyes. I was gonna suggest that we paint those up like the Guilty Sparks from Halo and just put them on flying stands, and they would look super cool like that. And then there's two tank kits. There's a Marauder light tank with some options actually for its main gun. So you can see here the turret actually has like a howitzer that will pop into it here. Whoops. And these are all dry fit again, little antennas. There's a 50 cal up there, or a larger gun. And then there's a Guardian APC, an 8-wheeled sort of lav with a light turreted gun as well. And again, it's all articulated. It'll all move up and down if you just keep it dry fit. And I'll paint those too, and we'll use those probably for some of our near future sci-fi games. They'll make great terrain for Infinity. I specifically think about them for Infinity. Or I might actually do them up as the escape vehicles for the new MTI for Dark Age. I might ramshackle up the Marauder a little bit there and make it one of the cool post-apocalyptic escape vehicles. Because you actually need an escape vehicle for the new March to Mortality for Dark Age, which is super cool. And that will make a cool model for it. So these are the actual kits. You can see, like, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can actually see. I'll push in. But you can see that the quality of the printing is super smooth. Like, you can't feel any kind of grain on it. And this was printed on a mid-range printer. So she says it was printed on a, he put the name of it in here. An FDM, a single extruder. So it's all printed on a single extruder FDM 3D printer and received no post-processing. So he didn't clean any of this stuff actually. And there's instruction documents and of course other stuff too on his YouTube channel. And it'll actually show how he prints and assembles the model. So if you want to go to his YouTube channel, I'll print it or I'll link it in the video description below. And you guys can see how he actually does his like post-production stuff on these guys. And a little bit more on the actual like casting process too. So very, very neat. I'm excited to actually have a go at one of these. I'll probably work on the Tiger 1 while Mike works on the T-34. And then of course I'm gonna be painting up that lav for sure for the new MTI because it's gonna make a great little escape piece as well. So I hope you enjoyed checking those out. They are super neat. We've got some 3D printed models here from 3DWarGaming. So there you go, another great product from a small company. Now, if you know of a product that you think deserves more attention, you can have them email me at guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com or Facebook message me at facebook.com/outofthebasement into the streets, and I'll do my best to put it in front of as many people as possible. So we'll see you next time for more of this. Until then, I'm Ash. Happy gaming.